Deuce Loosely, Devil's favorite advocate here, and I have pumpkin pie on my microphone. I don't feel like messing with it at the time, so I'll get to it later. Right now, I'm going to talk about a pay-per-view that's coming up Sunday that has become pretty irrelevant. It's become pretty irrelevant because it's not the big old dangerous event that it used to be. It's PG era. How can it be dangerous? How can it be threatening? How can it be foreboding? How can it possibly change anyone? You know, if you look at the cage, if you see the guys bouncing off the wall, literally bouncing off the walls, the walls of the cell look like trampolines. But I digress. We have Hell in a Cell on Sunday night. The FTW podcast did the recording tonight, and they all made their predictions. And since they really only count, they've been counting predictions. They have been playing this, they keeping track of how many predictions they got right over the past year, I guess. And since you have to be actually in the recording to have your votes count, to have your predictions count, I'm going to keep track of my own and compare with theirs. Over the past two pay-per-views, I have 9 correct. I started late. What are you gonna do? And I'm going to add whatever I get right to that running total. Right now it's 9. The top guys are probably, if they're not in the 50s, they are nearing 50 correct predictions. Easy for me to say. Okay, I'm gonna make my own predictions now, and I'm going to leave one match out because I really could care less. I could give a negative flip about it. The Bellas match, I don't care. Jimmy Crackcorn, I still don't care. In no particular order, I'm going to run these down. The multiple time rerun match that we've been getting the past 3 months between the Dust Brothers and the Usos. Yes, the Usos are getting another chance at the titles. Why? Because WWE doesn't have another credible contender for the tag team titles. The Usos, that's it. That's all they've got. And I'm going to touch on, tag team stuff. Actually, I should do that now because tag team wrestling just doesn't seem to matter in WWE. They don't have any teams. I'm going to switch over to TNA for just a second, just to let you know what they do have over there. They have several tag teams. Tag team wrestling matters over there because they're starting an 8-team tournament on Wednesday, and I can run down the teams that I know of that have entered the tournament. That you can expect more, to be a part of this tournament. Manic and Sonata are probably going to be a team. Magnus and Bram are probably going to be a team. The Hardys are probably going to be in this. I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the first match. I forget who against, but I heard that there was talk that Samoa Joe and Low Key were going to tag up. I am not sure about that. You have the Bromans. You have the Menagerie. I'm pretty sure. I would like to see Knox and the Freak, aka Rob Terry, take care of that. There's Gunner and Samuel Shaw. Those two are due for a split, and this would be a real good opportunity for that to happen. And I'm speculating that EY, Eric Young, and Austin Aries are going to tag up. But and that's 8 teams. What does WWE have? The Dust Brothers and the Usos. That's it. Um, so for that match, I'm taking the Dusts because there's really no reason to take the belts off of them. The Usos are stale. Sorry, they're stale, and we need to find at least another tag team, someone to contend for the belts, please. Sheamus is going to retain the U.S. title against The Miz, and apparently, from what I'm hearing now, a split is due between Miz and Damian Sandow. This is what the fans want, obviously. If the chants that we are hearing from the crowd are any indication over the past few weeks, they want Damian Sandow back. They want him away from Miz. And according to his history, Miz cannot do anything on his own. He cannot do anything significant on his own without riding someone. He's got to be riding someone. Right now, he's riding Damian Sandow. And so, if Sheamus doesn't beat Miz cleanly, Sandow is going to somehow screw up the match for Miz. And this is going to be the beginning of the end for those two. Please let it happen. Please let it happen. Please let it happen. Get Sandow away from Miz. He's poison. But yeah, Sheamus is gonna win. Let's see. AJ versus Paige. I'm really not gonna get too far into this one. It's a Divas match. Paige is gonna win because she's got someone in her corner, and AJ, her one woman revolution or whatever she's calling it. It's a quiet revolution because they're not giving her the mic anymore. And people are losing interest. You can hear it. So, it's WWE. They like to water down their women. So, yeah, give it to Paige. She wins the title. Randy Orton versus John Cena. Cena's going to win because of the other match that was supposed to be in the main event. Rollins versus Ambrose. Ambrose is going to win because, let's face it, Orton and Rollins are going to collide, and it's going to happen. It's got to be next on the horizon. It's the only logical step after what happened at the end of Raw last night. You don't curb stomp Randy Orton and not expect to butt heads with him. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Something's going to happen Sunday night, and those two are going to begin something. So Cena has to win this match if he wants to regain any credibility after being beaten by Brock Lesnar twice. And you may as well say he got beaten twice because there's no way, we all know it, Brock Lesnar was not going to tap out to John Cena at Night of Champions. So, yeah, that was just dumb. Cena does not look credible. He's not a credible challenger for the title as is, but they need to do something to build him back up, and dear God, do not give us another Cena title reign. Please, no. But he wins against Orton, and Ambrose wins against Rollins because that needs to end too. Ambrose needs to move on to something else so Rollins and Orton can run their program. But just a little something about Orton, I gotta say. I think he went off script Monday night. At the end of the first hour, he made his fourth appearance. Which I think the crowd was not too happy with. They started chanting, "Let's go Royals," while Orton was trying to run his promo, and Orton blew up. He blew the fuck up. He flipped his shit and went off on the audience, as far off script as he could go without losing the point. He generated some cheap heat by berating the Kansas City Royals. He, berated the audience, and he started yelling and he started screaming, and this is an Orton I haven't seen in like forever. It's like, where has this guy been, and why can't this guy come out a little more often? So instead of this guy who's kissing Triple H's ass constantly. But I digress. Orton, he went kayfabe. I mean, I swear, he got pissed at the crowd, and the crowd got louder with their "Let's Go Royals" chants. They have voiced their opinion. They do not want to see Orton versus Cena for the 17th time this year. That's a real statistic. 17th time this Sunday. It will be their 17th meeting this year between Orton and Cena. No one wants to see it. And it's going to be it's more than likely going to be the last match we see on the pay-per-view. And if people in the crowd don't leave before this match gets going, they are going to hijack it. That is another prediction I'm going to make. Just, mark my words, something screwy is going to happen. And I honestly don't care about this match, but I'm taking Cena for that one. I'm taking Ambrose for the other one. I'm taking Rusev over Big Show because Rusev needs to be maintained as the big brute. People are getting tired of the Russia versus the world kind of thing. But for some reason, people are still excited over Rusev as a character, and I don't get it. But they're less enthused about Big Show, and so am I. So I'm taking Rusev. There's a probable match that we were talking about that might possibly happen if, depending on what happens on SmackDown, between Cesaro and Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. If this happens at Hell in a Cell, I'm taking Cesaro. Cesaro needs this. He really, really needs this. Ziggler is better chasing the title than he is holding any title. And Cesaro needs it more. Cesaro needs to keep being pushed. Otherwise, the fans are going to lose interest because they are going to realize that WWE doesn't care. They're not giving Cesaro the push he deserves. They've obviously lost interest, so whatever, we're going to move on. They don't want to sleep on Cesaro. Give him the Intercontinental title. And this is what I'm counting on, so I'm taking Cesaro. So there's my predictions for Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Sheamus retaining the U.S. title, Paige winning the Divas title, Cena winning against Orton, Ambrose winning against Rollins, Rusev winning against Big Show, and Cesaro winning the Intercontinental title against Ziggler. And the Dust Brothers retaining the tag titles against the Usos. And it doesn't matter about the main company title because Lesnar's not going to be there. He's not competing. They're not having a main title match for whatever reason. I don't care what Triple H says. It's lame. It's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. And this pay-per-view doesn't really make any sense. It's a card full of reruns, and I'm not really interested, but I will watch just to get the results. And I'm not buying into the network just for this. So I will find another way to view Hell in a Cell. And there it is. I plan on adding a few more to my total of 9 thus far. So you can enjoy it if you wish. Hopefully there will be more good matches than we are speculating. But honestly, I'm not into a pay-per-view full of reruns. But I will watch anyway because I'm a wrestling fan and I'm taking a bullet.